Have you ever woke up bright and early, journaled, done a little bit of meditation, started your day with a coffee with great intentions to get a lot of work done, and only to realize an hour and a half later, you're flicking through Instagram at your ex, you're scrolling the internet, you're going and making another coffee, you're procrastinating like mad, and eventually it comes the end of the day, you're trying to rush it all in before your wife, your kids expect you to spend time with them? That's a story for most entrepreneurs. They're highly scattered, disorganized, procrastinate all the time, and end up living in a world of permanent pain, confusion, and self-doubt. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to totally erase all of those emotions and how to set yourself up for maximum success and performance in your week, how to eradicate doubt and get yourself back on track so you're highly inspired, focused, and excited to tackle big challenges, and you're not afraid of failing. And number three, I'm going to teach you how to plan your week. Now, first things first, let's start with a series of core ingredients to have an absolute great week. Number one is getting clear on why you're doing all of this. Your diet, your training, your business, your relationship, everything must be aligned with your mission. And your mission is essentially why you're on this planet. What are you here to do? For me, that's to become the absolute strongest, best version of myself and to be someone worth modeling in everything that I do. I want to be the best at everything that I put my hand to. Why? Because I want to inspire others to do the same. And I also know that pushing myself to my absolute limits actually takes me outside my comfort zone and into areas that grow me. So if I'm going to double my business this year, what kind of man do I need to become in order to do that? What kind of decisions do I need to make? What kind of risk do I need to be able to handle? What kind of money do I need to be comfortable stewarding and being responsible for? What kind of voice do I need to present to the marketplace? What do I need to say that I haven't said before? So I look at growing, whether it's in business, whether it's in my relationships, whether it's even in the gym. I look at growing and leaning into challenges as the best way to grow myself into someone worth modeling. And the bigger the challenges that I tackle, the more worthy I am of modeling and inspiring others. And it's almost like a feedback loop of doing challenges to serve myself, but also serve others. And here's the thing, when you start tackling bigger mountains, you actually start relating to other people that have done the same, and it opens up your network to other individuals that will inspire you, help you, serve you, and help you build the life that you want. The second thing that I get very, very clear on is why. Why am I doing all this? I ask myself why 5 times before I do anything in my week. Why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? Why am I doing it? 5 times. That will get you really, really clear on, is it important? Is it aligned with the mission or not? Number 3, I take myself to my edge every single week. The one thing that I ensure that is in my week without fail is taking myself outside my comfort zone. That means living on my edge, just beyond where I feel comfortable and safe. That is where growth is. So look at your week and ask yourself, where am I taking myself outside my comfort zone this week? That is ultimately going to be one of the most important activities that helps you build self-confidence and self-trust. If you can put yourself out of your comfort zone and know that every single time that you go outside that you will learn or you will grow, that is an incredible operating system to look at the world and operate through. Number 4, I always look at having fun in my week. That gets me excited. It gives me something to look forward to. And whenever I'm working through big challenges in business, I don't want to be thinking, is this all there is? I want to have outlets. I want to have almost like little silos where I can recharge. And I have different ways of having fun. 1, spending time in nature alone, whether it's fishing, shooting, spending time in nature with other men and other people that really mean the world to me, but don't need anything from me and I don't need anything from them. And number 3 is eating great food, visiting different places, traveling and experiencing different cultures. That for me is how I have fun. Fun is so important. And when it comes to growing a business, you need fun to rest. So I want you to think, when is a time that you don't think about business? For some of you, it might be when you're having sex, it might be when you're cooking, it might be when you're playing sport, it might be when you're doing some art. Those are your fun activities. Those are when you actually rest your mind and give yourself the opportunity to expand your thinking. I call them conscious raising activities, where you actually get a moment to step outside your container, rest your mind, take your mind off business, connect with really good quality people, do stimulating things, whether it's in nature or enjoying something that's been finely cooked by an amazing chef, and you literally get to savor and taste the qualities of life. Now, you don't want to do this stuff all the time, and one of the big dilemmas and falsehoods of being an entrepreneur is dreaming one day I'm going to retire and sit on the beach and go on holiday all the time and drink all this wine and all this food. Trust me, sometimes the best thing about going on holiday is actually coming home and getting back into a solid routine so that you can challenge yourself, grow, and ultimately enjoy yourself again. So keep in mind that fun is important for creating excitement, expanding your mind, taking your mind off business, and ultimately giving you a rest. Think of it like a charging bank and use it strategically to drive your performance. Number 5 is family time, spending time with the people that matter. Number 5 is asking for help every single week. If you're not asking for help, then you're not pushing yourself hard enough. And when I say pushing yourself hard enough, I mean whether it's in business, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's in life, whether it's with your family, whenever you want to grow, whenever you want to develop, you are going to run into challenges. And it's important that you stop and ask for help, whether it's from your partner, whether it's from a mentor, whether it's from a friend that you can trust and soundboard with. Asking for help opens your mind to new possibilities and experiences and solutions that you otherwise wouldn't have thought of because you're caught inside your own container. When people can see outside it, when they've got experience of doing what you want to do, your growth is uncapped because every time you get a fresh perspective, it opens you up to what's possible. Asking for help is crucial for really getting more stuff done in the grand scheme of your whole entire life. Number 6 is contribution, helping other people grow themselves, develop themselves, and ultimately me leaving them better than I find them. There is nothing more rewarding than having the purpose of serving others and contribution. Number 7 is making money. Making money is a transfer of energy. When somebody pays you to do something because they trust you and you know that you can fulfill on it. Again, it's a great way to increase your performance because you know what you're doing is being validated by the marketplace. Number 8 is creating strategic alliances and partnerships and friendships with people that are aligned with my mission and that can help me grow my business. So having new conversations, getting on podcasts, getting on conferences, all of those things that help me expand my reach, expand my thinking, and ultimately help me grow and develop in line with my goals and my mission. Being around the right people, you know you're around the right people whenever they lift you, energize you, excite you, and inspire you to go and do stuff bigger than you're currently doing. Number 9 is enforcing boundaries, saying no. You can tell how successful you are by the amount of times that you say no. If you want to get more done, enter a hard season of no. You see all those coffee dates, you see people coming around to see you during the day, going out at night. You know the kind of feeling that you get whenever you realize, you know what, I wish I never organized this because I've got more important stuff to do, and I just wish that I could have that time to recommit to what I'm currently doing right now. Save yourself the hassle and make decisions in advance and say, I am only going to see people who are aligned with my goals, aligned with my vision. I'm only going to see people on such and such a day at such and such a time. Create the times in your calendar that allow you to do that. Create boundaries, make decisions in advance about who you spend time with, and be comfortable saying the word no. The more you say the word no, the more successful you're going to be. Number 10 is learning something new, whether that's consuming some good quality books, good quality YouTubes like this channel. Don't forget to click like and subscribe because I pump out videos like this every single week that will drive your performance in business and help you live life on your own terms. I want to learn every single week from a mentor, a book, a course, whatever it is. I have an unlimited budget for learning because it's something that I enjoy. It's something that ultimately weaponizes me so that I can get more out of this life. We're not here for a short period of time, and I want to know that I am absolutely getting the most out of life. And I can only do that if I learn how to master my emotions, learn how to master my skills, learn how to master my craft, master my market, master the business that I love. That is the only way that I can grow and get the most out of life, is by learning. And learning feels good. Number 11 is challenging the people that matter to me, including team members, family members, partners. I want them to be their best. I want to challenge them to level up their standards and ultimately create the life that they want and ultimately help me fuel the goals and mission that I have for my life and my business. If you're not challenging them, guess what? They're not growing and you're not growing. You want the people around you to level up their standards so that you level up with them. And number 12, this is a secret that nobody has told. And number 12 is to get clear on what I don't want to do or how I don't want to feel this week. That's one thing that I do every single week before I begin it, is what do I not want to do? And when you build a life around what you don't want to do, it's very liberating and powerful. So those are the core ingredients that I take into account every single time I want to have a week with incredible performance. Those are the core ingredients that have allowed me to get 10x done compared to most 30-year-olds. Now I want to walk through how to get yourself out of a mental rut. Look, mental ruts are going to happen. Here's what you need to realize. Number one, you can't be happy without being sad. See, when somebody asks you the question, are you happy? That's a very immature question. Why? Because happiness is fleeting. And for those of you that are always searching for happiness, guess what? You're never going to find it. You're going to find parts of it, but you're also going to be met with sadness and unhappiness. So understand the non-dualistic aspect of life is one of the most important pieces of living that you can really embrace to live a life of massive freedom, is to know that you can't have upside without downside. You can't have loads of money without having very little money. You can't have loads of clients without having a few clients. You can't be an amazing entrepreneur without being a shit entrepreneur. When you understand that the current emotion that you're going through has a total opposite, then you are free. So if you're going through a period of frustration right now, anxiety, depression, ask yourself, what is on the other side of this? Have I ever experienced that before? You are simply experiencing the downside to the upside of the other emotion, and that is totally natural and totally normal. On top of that, mental ruts usually happen as a result of ruminating over and over and over and over again why things have happened or gone wrong. And the devil makes work for idle hands. If you've got too much time in your hands and you haven't organized your week in a way where you are living your purpose, challenging yourself, doing all of the stuff in the core ingredient list, guess what? You're going to get caught up in your head. And when you're caught up in your head, it doesn't feel good. I always use the example of when I was off at school. If you were sick for a day, it was kind of okay. If you were sick for 2 days, it was great. If you were sick for 3, 5, 6, 7 days, your head started to go. Why? Because you had too much time to overthink. So keep yourself occupied with things that you value, things that stimulate you, and things that encourage you to be your best. And number 3 is to use the following questions every single time that you are stuck in a rut. Number 1, what am I worried about? Get very clear on what that is. Ask yourself why you're worried about it 5 times. Get to the root cause of why you're worried about it. And you will usually reveal something along the lines of, I'm scared of failing. I'm scared of looking stupid. I'm scared of being on my own. I'm scared of not being loved. I'm scared of being ridiculed. I'm scared of being criticized. Number 2 is the question, where do I need to get more clarity? If you don't have clarity, then you're not going to make decisions. Number 3 is, what decisions do I need to make in both my personal life and my business life right now that will help me move, grow, and develop? Please understand this. Sitting and thinking about something takes up way more energy than actually doing the thing. Doing the thing actually gives you immediate feedback, and you can only do the thing whenever you make a decision. So you see whatever decisions that you need to make right now, whether it's to reach out and contact someone, whether it's to put an offer out there, whether it's to advertise yourself on social media, do it. Make a commitment to a decision. Pause this video right now, ask yourself, what do I need to make a decision with, and make a decision. There's no right, there's no wrong, there's only feedback, and you use that feedback to move forward. Next question to get out of a mental rut is, what do I need to delegate or delete to clear my mind and get ultra focused on whatever in front of me? The next question you need to ask whenever you're in a mental rut is, what do I need to stop doing, start doing, and keep doing? Get very, very clear on the activities that actually drive the results forward. Get very clear on the stuff that doesn't, including the relationships, the day-to-day stuff. Look at where you can delete it or delegate it. Another great question to ask yourself is, what am I rushing unnecessarily? And for a lot of you watching this, it's going to be building your wealth. You've all heard the saying that it takes 20 years to build an overnight success. And a lot of you guys are chasing a white rabbit. I spoke at a mastermind the other day for all the major school winners. This is a digital marketing community online. And the room was full of young 20 and 30-year-olds that were just chasing money numbers, chasing status. But underneath that, they had forgot about their health, they had forgot about their family, they'd forgot about themselves, and ultimately they were just chasing something to fit in and look good. Stop focusing on looking good and start focusing on being good. And what that actually means is increasing your worth, not just increasing your net worth. Here's what you need to realize about success. You want to be playing your own game and increasing your own worth, not just increasing your net worth. Increasing your own worth means making decisions that feel good for you and that are grounded on you and why you want to do them. Making a decision to grow a business just simply to build an empire so that you look good, sound good, and you can walk into a room and everybody goes, hoorah, is not a great reason to build a business. It's not a great mission. Avoiding going broke is not a great mission. Being the most popular person at X, Y, and Z isn't a great mission. These are all goals and constructs that we ultimately chase to fit in, to make up for our insecurities, and it is not a great way to operate or build a great life, because those structures will crumble. If you've been chasing money, if you've been chasing status, if you've been chasing promotions or popularity, you will realize that when you get that very thing, the whole structure upon which you built it will disappear because you'll come back to self. And again, it's so important that if you want to get more done, that you build from your heart, not necessarily your mind, because your mind is just made up of insecurities, marketing, and all that stuff. That's why I have a big gripe with a lot of manifestation stuff. If you look at the majority of people that build out vision boards, they put mansions on it, they put cars on it, they put watches on it, jewelry on it. I did the same. But the problem with that is that all comes from symbolic stuff that just simply makes you look good in front of certain other people that inevitably don't end up caring. The reality is most people torture themselves and drive themselves mad trying to keep up with appearances. The best life that you can possibly live is having total control of your own mind. Peace of mind, knowing that you don't need to do anything to fit in. And rather than believing in something, is knowing that you have everything that you need to succeed, knowing that you are successful, knowing that you are powerful. Heck, even if you look at your life right now, all the stuff that you're doing right now, you probably thought at one point that you never could do it, but it was always inside of you. So knowing is more important than believing. Knowing actually takes beliefs away. And last question I asked to get out of a rut, who is pissing me off and what do I need to tell them? Really useful frame for just clearing the air, clearing and closing loops, and ultimately getting the shitbags out of your life and really driving important real relationships. Real, true friends value straight to the point conversation. Shit friends don't want to be challenged, they want to hide, and they don't want to resolve the drama that you're having with them. If you've got drama in your life, put an end to it fast. Call somebody out, tell them what you really fucking think of them, and trust me, you will lose people in your circle, but you will tighten your circle, you will strengthen your circle, and you want to have a circle of people that aren't afraid to call you out in your bullshit, aren't afraid to challenge you, aren't afraid to support you, and ultimately give you the real talk. You don't want to be around yes men or yes women. You want to be around real people that want you to be your best. Last but not least, let's talk about how to plan your week. Now, I'm going to approach this with how I plan things in order and when I plan things. So the first thing that I do is I plan my week on Friday at 4 p.m. I want to ensure that I've got the bulk of my week planned before I enter my weekend. Why? Well, Friday at 4 p.m, pretty much we're ticking off, we're closing down. On Saturday, not really much happens. So here's what I do. When I sit down on Friday, I figure out what has gone well, what hasn't gone well, and what did I learn, and what are my major priorities next week. And when it comes to actually planning my life, here's how I plan. The first thing that I plug in is fun. These are usually one-off activities. For example, this weekend, we're going out with friends of ours for dinner. I've been looking forward to that all week. It's exciting. I get to dress up. I get to go into town with my wife, all this kind of stuff. It's really, really interesting for me. So I need fun to look forward to. The second thing that I do is I look, what am I going to do for health? And usually that is recurring activities. For me, it's 3 BJJ sessions, 3 strength training sessions, 1 hot yoga session, and 1 sprint session. That is my training protocol. It does not change. It is on the days that I want to do it. And ultimately, I build my whole entire life around that. The next thing that I focus on is client delivery. What do I need to do for clients? Where do I need to show up? Where do I need to provide support? Where do I need to coach, etc.? You probably have noticed that I haven't mentioned family yet, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. The next thing is then team meetings. And again, these are reoccurring, so they can be in my diary every single week. So now in my business, I'm primarily involved in leadership meetings. So I get reports of what's going on in the department, and I get asked questions on what should we do with, or here's a decision that we need to make, what do you think? And I have to soundboard. So putting those team meetings in play is very important. Notice how the clients come before the team. I still have strategic presence inside my business because I want to be at the coalface of clients. I want to be at the coalface of the market because I ultimately control the message and the signal and the relevancy of our company in the marketplace. And then I communicate that back to the team and everything else goes from there. So I give them my vision, they execute on my vision, and then I get feedback from the team on whether or not it was a good idea, bad idea, or okay idea. The next thing that I focus on is content creation. So I shoot content every Wednesday from 3 o'clock to 5:30. That is when I shoot up my YouTubes, my Reels, the content that you're actually watching right now. If you're selling anything on the internet or you're running a business on the internet, you have an ethical and moral responsibility for your clients, your team, and yourself to market yourself online. Whether you like it or not, you've got to show up, demonstrate what you can do for people, how they can get your help, and where they can get started. 3 things to go. Sales, where can I make offers? So every single week I make offers, whether it's one-on-one, whether it's on a podcast, whether it's at an event, whether it's on a sales workshop, I make offers all the time. The amount of money that you make is in direct proportion to the amount of offers that you make. I have a team that make offers, but most importantly, I want to be making offers as well. Next after that is white space. This is time for thinking. This is time for firefighting. This is time for when things go over their designated times and I need to figure shit out. And last but not least is family. Now, some of you might be going, why on earth are you putting family last? Well, whenever my ducks are in a row, whenever my head is clear, whenever I have lived my life on purpose and I have done everything that I've needed to do in order to put money on the table, make sure that I'm clear of all challenges, and make sure that ultimately I am showing up at my absolute best, family come at the very end. I am interested in quality time with my family, not quantity of time with my family. I could put family at the very start, but if I haven't programmed in some kind of fun, some kind of stuff for my health, some kind of stuff for my clients, some kind of stuff for my team, then guess what's going to happen? I'm going to end up compromising on those things, creating stress, and ultimately have to invest more time, energy, effort, and money and risk in trying to fix those things whilst I've put my family first. And I'm going to be preoccupied with worrying about fixing things, and I'm not going to be present. The last thing I want to be doing is with my daughter and thinking about a business problem. The last thing that I want to do after I finish a day in the office is coming over to the house in my mind, thinking about a piece of content, thinking about what am I going to do with this, what am I going to do with that. Whenever I have family time, it is family time. It is non-negotiable. Simple as that. So if you want to get more done in less time, take all of those insights, plan your week exactly how I shared, and most importantly, learn how to master your emotions and get out of ruts. They're never permanent. Let me know what stands out for you in the comments below. And if you haven't already subscribed, click subscribe. And if you want to watch more of my videos on how to build an incredible online business, check this out.